Hi, Joe here. Welcome back to Cipher Sound Audio. We'll talk today about what makes the electric guitar a good guitar. Not a specific brand or shape, but in general, what makes an electric guitar or bass good. No preferences from me. The specifics is for you to apply to your preferred guitar or bass. We will talk about top to bottom, from headstock or headless locking system through knot, neck, frets, neck joining style, body construction, pickups, controls, switches, strap pins, and of course stone wood. So let's start from the beginning. This will be something like I have here. This is just an example. So we will start from the headstock, or if you have a Stramberg or Ibanez Q series or some other Kiesel headless or something, then we'll be going through from the locking nut. That is my cat Paco trying to get in the room. So the headstock first. For today's guitar playing, and I'm specifically saying today's, not from 50s or 60s, today, a modern guitar player who may like, I also do, music from 50s, 60s, 70s, from early R&B, Motown, Muscle Shoals, so funk pop, R&B, blues, then classic rock, hard rock, and so on and so on. Until this day, I'm more or less in not hard and heavy genre, so all the way down. Even today's good pop music, pop as pop in today's standards. So let's go from the headstock. If you want a good guitar with good tuning stability, good quick string changes, you need locking tuners. So you put the string through the tuner, lock it when it's tight completely, as much as you can from the bridge, lock it, then tune it to pitch. It usually takes half a turn. You can also make it almost a turn, but never more than almost a turn, because if you want down tuned or something like that, this is tuned to E standard, and I'm not planning on down tuning even to E flat standard or drop D. So this is specifically for E standard. So locking tuners, that's the first thing that a guitar with a headstock needs, whether it be 6 in line or 3+3 like let's say Les Paul or SG, or reverse headstock, so 6 in line on the right side. You need locking tuners. That's the first step in being in tune. Second thing depends on the neck angle or leg thereof. Here we have a rolling string tree on the E and the B strings. Then let's go up the neck. This neck is made of roasted maple. They say that increases stability. I don't know. I haven't been around the world with a roasted neck before. I've been around the world with regular maple necks or mahogany necks. It has a rosewood fretboard and a fine slab, so good slab of rosewood, not that cheap stuff that Leo Fender introduced in mid to late 1963, where he, from 1959 to mid to late 1963, he had that, let's say, slab rosewood. Then he basically put the veneer on the maple neck, so it didn't have a rosewood sound characteristics, more a maple with the veneer. It's same like if you put a veneer on the body. It's just gonna make it look better, but still there's nothing better in the sound or different in the sound than the wood that's underneath. So this is all stock here. Bone nut, cut perfectly. And when I mean cut perfectly, cut to the perfect height and perfect string dimensions. So these are 11 to 49, and they slide through that bone nut perfectly. So there isn't that pinging noise when you try to tune it up or something like that. When you hear that pinging noise, you know there's a problem with the nut, and that should be addressed. Also, the material of the nut is very important of how your guitar is gonna sound. Trust me, the material of the nut, the pickups, the material of the bridge, and mostly what material strings are made of. Like these are nickel plated steel, there are stainless steel strings, there are titanium strings. Ernie Ball makes those cobalt strings. D'Addario makes those chromes. They're flats, of course, but still chromes. There are probably many different styles. Optima is putting 24 karat gold, like Elixir would on their OptiWeb series technology. So it makes a difference. The material of the strings makes a difference in the sound. And the nut. If you want that vintage sounding stuff, you would put a bone nut. If you want that more advanced, modern sound, you would put something like Graphtec nut, something like that. That would be my preference. I personally would avoid brass nuts. They are so 80s and early 90s. And to be honest, they are good, don't get me wrong, but they are misrepresented, extremely misrepresented, because the idea was when you strum an open string and pressed string, it would sound the same. It wouldn't, because this is made of brass, so open string brass, and let's say on this guitar, this is a brass saddle with some chrome cover on it. So brass on brass, or let's say in the 80s, early 90s, nickel silver fret against brass. It's not the same. So if you want that vintage sounding stuff, you would put the bone nut. If you want, and if you have, like on this guitar, stainless steel frets. Stainless steel frets are extremely slinky once they are dressed and shaped correctly. They wear out extremely slowly. Some guys, of course, that play like crazy can destroy them in 1 year, year and a half, and some guys wouldn't even put a dent on them in 40 years. So that's a big plus against the nickel silver frets. All my guitars, all my basses except acoustic guitars have stainless steel frets. Just because that I don't want to dress the frets every time I change the strings, don't want to polish them. They're continuously polished, they don't rust, they don't do anything. They're just perfect the way they are. On this particular guitar, it's Henry's Relic Snake Series Red Cobra that usually comes in HSS configuration, but I needed SSS configuration. This was on sale as the last example of the batch, so I bought it. I wanted the black one, but I ended up with red one because it was like almost 200 euros or dollars less expensive than the regular priced other colored snakes like Red Cobra, Black Mamba, and so on. Classic Rattle, Blue Python, they have that names. So I had the pickguard before I had the guitar with Fishman Fluence single width pickups with master volume, master tone, 5-way control switch, and a mini switch for voicings. Now it's voicing 1, here is voicing 2. So this voicing 1 on this guitar gives me a really good representation of what should in late 50s Fender Stratocaster sound like, but without the hum, because of the active electronics and the Fishman Fluence single width pickups. The upper voice too, they say like it's like Texas. It gives it some mids, but to me it's like more of a 60s, late 60s kind of vibe, like early 60s made, 61, 62, that was played in late 60s, early 70s. That's the kind of sound that it produces in the Voice 2. I don't use it very much, but sometimes it's good because it gives a bit of hump in the mids, and that gives a bit of bump out of the mix when you're playing in a band. And we are speaking only playing in a band. Like, did you ever hear Slash's tone isolated? It sounds, I don't want to curse, it sounds like dog poop. But when you hear it in Guns N' Roses mix, it sounds perfect. You know it's Slash. You know that it's him. It's his Les Paul with Seymour Duncan Alnico 2 Pros in a Les Paul through a Marshall. But isolated, his sound is god awful. And he plays it, when he does, he plays it at home, let's say at home, the same way he does on stage. So he doesn't change EQing on his amp because he's used to that awful voice, awful sound, awful voice of the guitar, amp and speakers. So, but it gives him his signature voice inside of a band. So we covered the stainless steel frets. You can also use nickel silver frets. There are many grades of quality of stainless steel frets and nickel silver frets or Evo gold frets. They're like in between of hardness of nickel silver and stainless steel, but usually, as a rule of thumb, these stainless steel will always be slinky if they are dressed properly. Right from the factory, they are perfectly, and I mean perfectly, put in. They are pre-cut and pre-shaped and then put on a guitar. This specific model, all the snakes from Henry's have 22 frets, supposed to Fenders from those years 21 frets, nickel silver, and also Fender had the bow nut. Then we go to the neck joint. This neck joint, I just recently removed the neck just to see, and I removed these 4 screws and put the guitar like that, and the neck with the strings loosen up. I didn't want to change the strings. I just wanted to see it wouldn't fall out. So I had to put torque in the neck and the body to pop it out. So it's a perfect fit, and that means that the resonation from the neck goes very good on the body. Some say that set necks are better, but depends on what set neck it is, how it's made. Is it a long neck tenon, short neck tenon? Is it a set through neck? Maybe neck through body? It all depends. It all depends on how it is made. Because some guitars or basses with neck through bodies also sound like dog poop and don't have any sustain because of so much variables that they got wrong. But in a ideal world, the neck through body with wings attached, glued, would be the perfect sustaining guitar. But it's not. Usually it's not. Because there's so much that it can go wrong with this amount of wood. And this amount of wood with quality craftsmanship, it's more likely that this will be better. I had Strats and Tellys and other bolt-on, and I'm not talking all about Fender, I'm talking from all other brands that make Strat copies, Telly copies, Jazz Masters, Jaguars, and Super Strats and all like this that can fit 1.5 millimeter pick between the neck and the body wood, like here or even here. So this is perfect. I had to jam it in, screw the screws back in gently so I don't do something wrong, but I have experience with that, so that's okay with me. Then we go to the body wood. So the body, they say this is a phoenix wood. I don't know the heck what phoenix wood is. I googled it, it's some kind of paulownia wood. Okay, it's extremely light, extremely light, very resonative, extremely loud. So that tells me that it is good. So tone wood debate or not, I don't know. Paulownia, usually they make tables out of it or like this kind of stuff, but they made a guitar out of it and it sounds extremely good. In full transparency, this is not my only Henry's. This is the first Henry's, but not my only. That will be revealed in future episodes. But so paulownia wood, okay, it's extremely light due to the neck joint that it has and construction, quality of construction. It's perfect, you know. This string bar on this specific guitar, I shortened it and put a plastic black tip because, as I said, I wanted a black guitar with black Mamba with HSS, and just swap the pickguards and which I did, but on the red one, and I wanted to shorten the bar because it is too long for me. I don't know, it is too long for me, and I wanted to look vintage. This bridge, it is quite fat, so this part and this part here, it's quite fat. It's quite fat. Let's see. I know the saddles are brass with chrome covers, but yeah, it's steel. So this is small neodymium magnet. You know, brass is not ferromagnetic, so it won't stick on brass, but still will. Look. So, why is this just for an aesthetics? Because I needed and I wanted a fixed bridge strat. What that means, this is a 6-point tremolo. These screws are tightened to the gills, and behind here it has a big block, and it has 5 springs that are also tightened to the gills, so it's extremely hard to even do some down. I don't even try it. This is just for looks. So, of course, the material of this will maybe 0.5% will be hearable, let's say hearable or feelable on the whole guitar. I had on Floyd Rose guitars and edge guitars like Ibanez's, I had brass, tungsten, stainless steel, titanium blocks, big L blocks. It all makes just a subtle difference. If you have a big block, it will have better sustain than a small block. But what it's made of, if it's not made of zinc, like, let's say, Fender made in Mexico, lowest range, that thin grayish stuff, it's just icky. Okay, it holds the tuning, it does what it does, but like, I prefer that it has a big block. Whatever the material it is, except zinc. So, and of course this is the battery compartment for active Fishman pickups from Goto. Usually I have the plate on. Just because of this video I removed it so I can show you guys. And under those springs there is a fat piece of foam, just in case there is some transference of vibrations, so that the foam blocks the spring noise. Yes, I could buy the Floyd Rose or FU Tones silent springs, but why? These springs are just as good when you put some foam underneath, or two tissue papers, something like that, or piece of, or a sock or something, I don't know, piece of a sock, your girlfriend's panties, whatever. So we covered most of it. Now let's discuss further why I have the jack plate this way instead of going in like a traditional Strat. Well, because I use always the angled jacks on my guitars, and for other guitars I have the input jack here, or on a Strandberg here, and never here. Also on my basses I have exclusively custom-made basses, so they're, even though they look like P basses, J bass, PJ, Stingray with humbucker, they all have a jack plate here, so I can just put it here. And of course, to be safe, and look, it's flush with the body. It's not going like this. It's not standing like this, and or you would need a straight jack like they did in the 50s when this model was designed. So I just unscrew the jacks, reversed it, so all on 180, and screw the jack in, screw the jack plate. Yeah, it doesn't look extremely good, it has some holes here, but I don't give a damn because it gets the job done. And lastly, on this guitar, the strap locks. I would never go on stage without strap locks. These are Henry's proprietary strap locks, and I really have to admit, this is not a sponsor video of any kind. I have to admit, these are the second best strap locks I have ever tried. First one being Dunlop. All of Dunlop's strap locks the metal ones, not the plastic ones. So it's extremely good, these strap locks. And like I said, modern guitar player from this age, it's 2025 now, you need locking tuners, strap locks. Don't go on stage without them. Does the roasted maple do its thing? I don't know. I haven't tried it. My touring days are over. That's why I'm here teaching you the stuff that I learned during my, let's say, semi-professional and professional career as a musician. So guitarist from classical, acoustic, electric bass, electric fretless bass, and acoustic double bass. I had no issues with normal maple necks or normal mahogany necks. I saw also roasted mahogany, roasted this, roasted that. It's all good, fine and dandy, but okay, it has some appeal to it. Also, this whole thing, except of course the fretboard, is finished in nitro finish, so you can, let's say, get the screw and put a dent to it. I don't give a rat's ass. It doesn't look any worse or better than it was before I poked it. The neck is also nitro finished, but it's very satin, and it's not sticky like some very expensive mahogany based guitar brand is. It starts with the G, a big G, you know. It's not sticky. And when I said the perfectly cut knot, like the deepness, to me, that's my preference. To me, that means that I can take my pick and put it under the first string before, so, or all the way to the first fret, and it won't fall out. That's, for me, a good knot, a good height. Some say that this is the way you should measure it, or no, I measure it like this. If it holds the pick and it doesn't buzz, it's perfect. Also, I sometimes shaved off some wood when I had locking system here with Floyd Roses. Floyd Roses in general, it may be Godot, it may be Edge, it may be Floyd Rose, it may be Schaller Lockmeister or Schaller Locking, but Lockmeister is the best. Second best is Godot. Third best is Edge. And then Floyd Rose original. But yeah, from the factory it was too high, so I removed it, shaved off some wood, put it back, and when I put it back, if the pick fits, the nut sits. So in general, this is a good guitar for everything that I need in a Strat. I can give you an example for something else, but let's say for a Strat. This is the perfect Strat for me, for what I need. I also have another one that is not relict, and the whammy bar actually works. It's not blocked. But when I purchased this, I needed a fixed tram, so I screwed it off. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments or send me an email at cipher.amps@gmail.com, which will be linked in the description below. Thank you for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Bye.